didn't work out because it locked it up and down, and I want to do horizontal. So I'm not sure if I'll actually get any of the people from the other one to this one, but here we are. I am going to do some mixed media art today, and I've done one of these one other time, but this is a bummer because I had it scheduled and now it's not. Oh well. So I want to come in here and play around and do some art and talk about my new tools. I actually got a set of gouache and I was really excited about the colors. And I have this whole gouache palette over here, but I am trying to get a set of gouache that's portable so that if I can do some plein air or if I can actually just take it downstairs and do other things. So I'm looking forward to checking this out. And I had a really sentimental moment this last week because I got this kit out of my mom's supply. I lost my mom in 2019. And when I opened this up, this was just her old palette, a little mini travel palette, has all of her little stuff in there, but it had a bunch of paint in the trays. And so I actually used it to do the base of this one while I was driving, which was, it's just simple. This is just like the mountains on the other side of the Columbia Gorge when we're driving through there. That's where I live in Oregon. So, but it was so sentimental that the last person who touched these paints was my mom, well before 2019. And yet it was still here from this little old palette. So I might have to pull that palette into operation some more. And so yeah, I just wanted to show that. That was pretty fun. And then also, I did not know my mom did, I knew she did watercolor and I knew she did oils, but I had never really even learned about gouaches until well after she had passed. And I just learned this last week that if you add the white gouache to your watercolors, it basically makes the watercolors into gouache. So that is what I'm going to be playing with. I'm a mixed media gal, and I'm going to play around. Play around with mixed media, but I'm definitely going to have like lots of different gouache in there this time. The other thing, last time I was on a live, I decided that I would have a art journal open to take my extra paint. And that was really fun the last time. So I'm going to do that again. And so yeah, so we're going to get started here. This was another little page I did. I'm tackling faces and I'm terrible at them, but that's what the whole point of art journals, right? Is to make mistakes and play around with that. So that's what we're doing. And I'm still even picking out which papers and notebooks that I like. I'm not very good at that yet either. And this time around, we're going to use, I'm going to do a double spread in this one, which is a Master's Touch Fine Art Studio, but I don't actually know, they don't actually tell me what kind of paper it is. And I don't know. I know it's watercolor paper and it's got a tooth to it. So that's all I know. So come on out. Let's get you in here closer. And I'm going to show you my, what I'm going to be inspired by this time. But let's get some perspective down here and get off my face. I don't have the system in play yet to do the top-down view, but I figure you guys can figure this out too. Here is my inspiration picks this time. And I have, one of them is a piece of poster art that I've had on my wall for years. And I want to paint this one over and over again until I can kind of like do it by my memory. So that's the first inspiration. And then the second one is my orchids that are in full bloom and the ring is showing up on there. But that's what we're going to try for. We're going to do orchids on one side and this scene here on the other. And I'm just going to start going for it. So hopefully you guys are entertained. I see people popping in and out, but not sticking around. So we'll see how that goes. But can you see the inspiration pick? Maybe not so much. So, okay, here we go. Maybe I'll come in a little closer. I don't even know if you can. There we go. All right, so let's do this. All right. just gonna I don't really know how to do my measurements on this kind of stuff, but we're gonna just go for it. Hopefully you guys have your own art stuff out that you're feeling creative with, and this will have some flowers, it'll have some spears and spikes going up there. I've done YouTube garden stuff for a long time on here, and that's a little goofy. We'll figure that out with the painting. That's kind of one of the reasons why I like the gouache, is it covers a multitude of drawing sins, right? But I've been a gardener on here, and I love being a gardener on here, and it's just not spring yet, but those days will be coming. We'll definitely be doing flower art and all the things that go with that. And this morning I had my handheld saw out there, and I was cutting things out and down, and it was really, really fun. We'll get our shutters. It's actually harder to draw and talk than you think, but just a rough sketch in. I'm not a particular Susie by any means, so I'm not worried about exacts, and I am learning about perspective and you know, the darks and the lights, the hues of your colors. And I'm trying to learn about composition a little bit too. That's why this one's fun, because it feels like composition has already been worked on for me, and we get to borrow it, right? I'll get that in there. A little dark hallway going down the back. Flowers there. Corner here. I've been trying to build myself up to doing a little bit of art every day, and it was really kind of fun to do the art in the car, because I thought that I would get car sick, and I did not get car sick. So you know, I can read if it's a straight stretch, but this was even easier than that. I didn't even get slightly like I had to work on it. And yeah. I'm gonna get some textures going on here. I kind of want this all to be flowers. Okay, so we're kind of blocked in there, and now we're gonna go for it with the first round of paint, because I kind of want some of it to dry before we do. And we're playing around with our gouache. I don't even know what gouache. Whoa, that's a lot of white, and I know it's strong, but let's do some brown into. I'm going to be mixing. I'm not actually even very good at the mixing stuff yet. Let's get this to cover a little bit more. Let's get this sidewalk rough cut in. Yeah, so fun. I am loving this, and I'm going to be on here more. I'm such an eclectic art person. I'm actually a novelist, and I'm supposed to be working on my deadline at the minute, but I'm not, so that's okay too. I almost put my brush in my tea. That is something I should probably make a thing about, because everybody does it, right? This has to go over a little bit more than I was prepared to do, so I'll have to shape that a little differently. I'm going to get the bases, block it in quick. I'm not quite doing like 5-minute sketches yet, but I like the concept. I like the idea of challenging myself. It's kind of amazing how much you can get in there if you go for it fast. And we're going to add a little bit of yellow and make this a little bit more. We want, oh, that was darker than I wanted it to be, but we'll use it. We'll just keep going and make all of it that way. Get that under there dark. And so yeah, my goal is actually on lives is to get a little bit of a following so that when I go on my regular videos, there's a little carryover, but I'm not sure it's working. And I'm okay if it's not. We've got time. And I've actually been so grateful for my artist life lately. I was down and out with long COVID for a couple years. And so it took me a while, 18 months actually, it took me a while to get my energy back and to get my sense of having more to give. And I've been between that and being 50 and empty nested and a grandma, it's almost like there's just so much. And I heard a quote the other day about gratitude, and it said that gratitude was happiness doubled because you you get your chance to doubled by wonder, like, and that's what it is. I think I spend a lot of time thinking about time passing and how happy I am with the way things are. I don't know what to do about that with the live going sideways, but I'll have to figure it out because I probably had people watching. But sorry if you were one of them, if I messed it up for you. My niece in-law had her baby this morning. That just feels kind of amazing too. All right, so this is gouache and it's green, but it's kind of a peppy green. So let's knock it back a little bit with some yellow. I wonder if yellow watercolor versus yellow gouache would be a little bit different. Whoa, that's more terracotta deep brown than I want, but I kind of like it for here. I'll go underneath this bench too. Just gonna have some shadow in there. Behind here too. Yeah, I'm having fun. This is an absolute blast. My life is just so good. And new babies, healthy, born 3 weeks early, but completely fine. It's such an amazing thing. My family was watching home videos last night from 25 years ago. How can I possibly be old enough to have home videos from 25 years ago? And, but yet you do, right? And, get some layers to start cutting in here. All right. Let's go ahead and hit that with a little bit of fun. Then we'll move over here and cut this one in. I don't like my the green. I don't know how to mix colors yet. I really suck at mixing colors. I watch a lot of it because I feel like I'm not really going to learn unless I do it. And if I watch other people do it rather than read a book, learn, like, and even watching it, I've watched many videos now and they're just like, it's a little bit abstract to my brain. And so I can't even handle so I'm just bad at it until I get good at it. That's the way it is, right? I got to pay my dues. Got to log some hours. This is too green, but it's still nice underlayment for what's coming. Let's see here. Hope I'm not doing my thing where I use my paints up here like I want. My extra paint should be should be going up here on this page. And I'll put that up there. Get it out of the way. And I didn't, that's a new habit. So I saw somebody do it, and I think it's fairly genius to try to actually save some of your paint extras. Like, that makes sense to me. What do we got here? I gotta try to get this window in here and mixing up again, getting some palettes wet. Ooh, that's not quite. Maybe if I keep thinning that, that'll work. Yeah, baby. I will come in with my other marker. In fact, I'm just gonna wash this over. Let's do the whole thing and then we'll bring it back. This is a goofy bench. I messed up the end here. Got my perspective out. So we're gonna put some white on it. Where do we want the... Yeah, basically like a whiteout in there. And yes, this I haven't figured out all my love of the paint brushes that work for mixed media super great yet, but I love watching the videos of people who have it down, and definitely like ones with a little bit more control than the one I was just using. So, I'm trying the gouache on the tints. My goodness, that looks so different. It's a little bit more opaque. That's yeah, we'll get there. Get a blocks on the wall. So, yeah. People drop nuggets all the time. They say things that are, I'm a self-taught and I'm going to stay self-taught. So it's like the faster I can get in there and learn by watching and listening, the better. And I look forward to that. So yeah, let's put a little bit of gouache in these little windows just to see what that sits like. Give me a little something to work off of when it's yeah, I'd rather be here painting than having a new baby, that's for sure. Seasons change. Although my daughter is a labor and delivery nurse, and she delivered a woman who was 52 and her husband was 57, and they were having their first child, one child. And that sounds like hard work. Yeah, I got that back there. I'm missing something here. This is supposed to be a archway here. Wash. I don't know how this paper is for lifting it up. That'll be better. Soften that out. All right, so let's play around with some pink. I'm gonna put some gouache down, white gouache, and some pink watercolor. I haven't actually done that before, but let's see. Get some in there. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, because see, it sits on top of that green really lovely. And has a little chalky look to it, but I think I kind of like that. Like, that's not hard for me to like. Add a little purple to the same one. Get that down in here. There's supposed to be some pots here, but I did them too close to the window, so. All right, so here we go. We actually are gonna do it this time. Let's empty the brush of its load. Make it swatch out. Hello there. Oh, somebody gave me a thumbs up. It's nice to have a little company. People have been popping in and out, but not sticking around. If you're still here, working on mixed media, and this is my inspiration picture up here. Oh, I'm not even sure you can see it. Inspiration right there. And I want, this one is one of those ones where I want to be good at it. I want to be good at it, so I want to do it a whole bunch of times. And I'm going to do a different picture on the other side so I can give my project a little time to dry. So we're doing 2. And I am a pretty great doodler and a terrible painter. Like, there's nothing about my work that's by any means to the top of quality yet. Like, I'll flip through here. I got a little bit of love in this already here. But we'll do, when I finally get done with things, I'm kind of hoping that I sort of, because I've jumped back into YouTube, I'm kind of hoping that that looks kind of cool. That's my, I kind of hope that I can track a little bit my beginning days. Like, that's kind of fun. So I'm looking for my inspiration pick because I just didn't keep it on here. How do we do library? Here we go. There's my inspiration pick, and now here's the new one. Let's go ahead and go for the beginnings underneath. And I was saying that I found this little tiny palette of watercolors from my mom, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to get my green and that color down with my mom's watercolor kit. She passed away in 2019, and I found this palette of hers in her stuff that I inherited. And the other day I went to use it, and it was all of her leftover mixing palette, and I made art out of it. And it just was like weirdly, you know, sometimes grief is hard, but sometimes it can be sweet. And this was one of those sweet ones. So this paper is super absorbent. And so I'm new to learning the definite difference of papers. And I find that I'm not super into the ones that soak it up and drink it up, but because it doesn't operate like watercolor. But a lot of the people that I was watching, they were doing gouache on there. And I think the gouache makes more sense for what I kind of want to do. So it has a little bit of a tooth in there that I'm not used to, but that's actually my journey. So what I decided to do is start a whole bunch of art journals at the same time and slowly work my way. I have time. I'm going to keep doing art until I'm really, really old, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. So if you're along for the journey, I have all kinds of plans. I'm going to make sun catchers, and I'm going to show my cut flower garden. I'm a novelist, so I'm sure that the writing will creep in there. In fact, I'm on writer deadline right now. So thank you for supporting my poor choice of sitting over here doing this instead of doing what I should be doing. All right, so this is a good base. I don't have any experience yet with masking fluid. I got some. I'm getting myself situated so I can actually go outside and paint. I think I would really appreciate that. And we're mixed media around here. So there was some watercolor. We've already been doing gouache. I have some pastels, different things. So yeah, so we're gonna do all kinds of stuff like that. So now I'm gonna go back to this one and see if I can't play around. I guess just a straight up gray from up there at my mixed palette. Let's get some steps going on here. Get some depth here. And Are you having fun? I'm new at this. Does this work? Can you see enough of what's going on there to make it entertaining? Not really sure. I'm new to this all, so a little feedback probably wouldn't hurt. But yeah, so hopefully it's a little relaxing. Color mixing, I'm not very great at. I've mentioned that already, but I intend to. I've been learning a lot about, I can't even think of the word. It's when it's like the tone value of when something's light and something's dark, and how you can get the front to go back and the back to go front. Like, I think I even am doing this a little bit wrong at the minute, but we aren't done yet. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll keep going until we get it to pop a little bit. I haven't figured out what I think of like all the strong opinions. Like, some people don't use white, some people don't use black, they mix. Some people don't use the cheater colors, they call them, when they're already mixed. And I think that if you follow me, you should know I'm a generally wild thing and gonna do my own thing. And not even educated. I think you guys, I'm a gardener and I've been gardening since I was 13, and my mom, bless her heart, was a super master gardener. And when I started, like, I binge watch gardening YouTube videos because I love them. But sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, you're headed for disaster and you don't even know it yet. Hang on to your hats. That's not going to go well, because you learn and know. And I'm assuming that I'm going to be that way a little bit with people who are watching me find my way. Yeah, that's super fun. Let's get some tendrils down over here. I think this color in gouache would be fun. Maybe I'll mix some into some white over here. How do I gotta put that over here on my thing. Not good at that yet. Let's get some white out here and mix some. Let's get some green in it. So, living and learning over here. It's not quite as green as I was hoping, so maybe we need to mix it up and add some more in there. Get it to have some depth. Probably put some marker on there. I did get some Uniball markers, which I really like the micron ones that everybody uses, like kind of everybody knows about. And oops, that's not the right color. Get that doing somewhere else. Let's do some leaf base over here. These are kind of trumpety. A little directionality here. Get some. All right. Oh, there's a comment, but it disappeared. How do I see that? All right, so you might have to do that again. I'm not good at it. Sorry, people. Learning. All that effort you made to make me a nice comment, and I missed it. I guess I'll have to just get the software and do this the right way, huh? I'm kind of faking it. I thought that it would make sense for me to get some things figured out before I paid for a service like that, but we might just have to jump in. All right, again, I'm not the best at perspective and all the composition stuff yet, but we're getting there. Let's do this one in here. Not quite the right green that we want there, but... Oh, God. Did it again. I don't have my readers on. All right, forgive me. I'm not even going to get to see those because I don't think it ends up in the replay. Okay, going over here to the flowers. That's probably super exasperating, but oh well. Okay, so we're going to go yellow, but with the white. My goal is to play with this gouache set. So let me show you what I'm working off of here. I put this set of gouache. This is all gouache down this. And these are watercolor. And these three, this is one kind of white. This is supposed to be two different color whites. But these are all because I'm new to this, and I just learned that if you add the watercolor to the gouache, then it equals gouache, and like it makes the opacity change. So I set myself up with the gouache set that is a little more movable. That one's my other one, big one up there, and it's not very portable. Like I can't go outside with it. So yeah, this is looking really really cartoony. That's not my favorite. I kind of like them when they have a little more realism in there, but not total realism. That's for the patient people. I do not get that vote. I'm not the patient sort. But yeah, so we'll get some terracotta pot looking in here. Let's get these in here. Might have to hit that with my acrylic marker to pop it up out of there because it's not super great. I keep going back and forth. Oh, that was my extra one if I went that way, but this is going to be dark in here, so I might bring the level up. Yeah. So weird. This goes. There we go. Get it nice and tall. I'm going to even this out here. Oh, I had painted all those nice bricks and now I covered them up. Well, that is what it is. Okay, what kind of painters are you guys, or artists? Do you guys have, I'm kind of hoping that as time unfolds, I can find my people who do multiple forms of art, because I have to. If I don't, like right now I'm supposed to be on book deadline, and I just need to do something else in order to create the sense of accomplishment that I need to take into my book project. And so, yeah, that's part of it. Like it's not pleasant sometimes when you're pressured by the time and deadline, like I am. I truly have a publishing deadline and all that stuff is real. But if I go in there and I'm dreading it, then and after a while it kind of wears you down and it makes you not want to do any. It's like that's the beginning of burnout or even not feeling well. Like I'm just not interested. I've played that game in my health for long enough. I don't really want to. I'm healthy. We want to hang on to that. Let's keep practicing good, you know, all those good habits. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm playing because, yeah, so this is only okay, but let's get some good old purple in here. I'm not a big, you know, purple is not always a trustworthy color on these, but this hopefully can pop it in there. And we'll do some, they look like they have a little bit of orangish reddish color in there. You want to get all those flower colors in there popping. Oop, I don't like that color. That's the terracotta color. Yeah, one plant there. We'll make this one big pot here too. Changing the composition up a little bit, ad-libbing. Do you guys do that? Make it what you ended up doing versus what it really was. Yeah. Okay. All right, so we need the actual pretty red color. Let's see if that's the red color. Maybe this is. Definitely bold. Oh, we got some bleedage there. Want to pop this purpley color back up again. And let's just do straight watercolor, even though I tend to use the watercolors like acrylics, so I'm not quite sure why I do that, but I kind of like the bolder, and but this has a little bit of that transparency, and it dries better than the acrylic does, so I kind of end up going for it. Okay, we'll add a little bit of that over here. And then we'll get out of its way, let that dry. Okay, back to this one. I haven't even cut these in yet, so we're gonna have fun. Let's have some fun. Let's get these. I haven't even drawn this. Freehand, let's go for it. So this could be a disaster, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with YouTube humiliation with all of one or two visages like you guys are at. So let's get in here and get some shape going on. This is my good old gouache. Let's get some, water that out a little bit. Oh, I got to remember I want to use my paint in my thing over there. Yeah, this is the wrong color. It's too bold. We'll have to knock it back, but it's kind of fun to get the big old shape in there. Hopefully you guys are having fun at your houses getting something done. I'm going to have to make it so I can see comments because that's half the fun, isn't it? I used to only do garden YouTubes, and it turns out that I really love that I have those records of how our property and how my garden changed. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then let's get in here and make it mix with white and knock it back a little bit. Get these. Yeah, that's a little better. See, this is the base, and then I'm going to get in there with the oil pastels and the acrylic pens and all of the things. Yeah, but we'll get this started here. Yeah, there we go. Let's get some fun little beauty spots in there. I'm an orchid lover, an orchid grower, and a proud orchid killer. I don't think you can actually be a person who's good at orchids without admitting that you have to kill. You have to kill tons before you actually get to own the badge of being a successful orchid grower. That is for sure. I wonder if there's any difference between this white and this white. Let's use it. So this is gouache going in heavy, basically using it like an acrylic. Why do I do that? Because I love it. I love me a 3D art is my thing. I kind of do, I do YouTube too. So like, and I like to do like costume jewelry. Like that's a nice vintage necklace with faux pearl. And I think that some of that stuff looks like art too. So we might have to figure out how to make some videos with that little bit in there too, because it's just so cool. And there's so many layers to art. And that's what I said. I'm hoping to find my people who need multiple, you know, and, you know, maybe you're a fiber arts person and then you also draw or you journal too. And that's kind of what I'm looking for, is people who get the whole thing. Okay, that's looking kind of cool. I'm happy with that basic. And so now I'm going to, oh, I missed my chance. Oh, here we go. Get some of that up here. Mix it around. I don't know how these pages are going to work because those are pretty chaotic, but we're going to try. I saw somebody do that and they just didn't waste their paint. And I just think that's genius. Now, I'm not interested in wasting my paint, but I am going to say, use your art supplies. Get them all out. Yes, they're expensive. Yes, they're precious, precious, precious. But the joy is in the creating. So get them out. Use them. Use up your washi tape collection. Use up your markers and paints, and let them get a little bit, you know, opened and used, and have to go buy some more just because they're actually being beautifully used. Like that's so sweet to think about. So if I can influence you at all, go out there and use your art stuff. And you you don't have to be good. And art is subjective. If you like doing it, you know, I heard this quote the other day that said, if the time that you wasted, you enjoyed, is it really wasted time? And I think there's a real argument there, especially nowadays with everything being topsy-turvy all the time. And so, yeah, I'm kind of saying, use it, have fun and play. And, you know, here I am with my happy little readers because we're aging. Age is happening to us all. It's relative. So get in there and do your craft with the physical abilities that you have now, because we may not always have it. We may not always have it. That is an okay thing to acknowledge, to prepare for. And also, you know, it's kind of weird. You got to have the expectation that times are changing, but then also love living and just enjoy living. All right, here's a little update on that. We're gonna let it dry for a sec. What do you think? Now that I'm actually looking at my camera, what do you guys think? Is that coming together? I like it better than this. This is one of my expectations of myself, is that I literally want to do so much art that I find my voice. I know my author voice. I'm working on, I'm working on my 8th book, and my 5th book published is coming out this fall, but 8th book in total, and I am kind of figured my chops out on that. But as a writer, as a painter, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if I'm abstract. I don't know if I don't even know if I've come across what I am yet. Like, I just don't know. We'll have to see. But I kind of want to, I don't think you can know that without doing it, right? Ooh, there's a bush right here, a planter right here. So let's get these little rose bushes in here. These will be fun. And yeah, where else is some? We'll get these yellows and a little bit of water here, not a ton. This brush is a little bit harsher than I want, but yeah, so we're gonna probably learn right before your eyes. I think that when I'm very excited to get to the point where I have completed these, because I've never actually finished an art. I have like 10 of them started at the same time, so it's slow going. And I do art in them often, but haven't done a flip through or anything yet because I don't have enough pages done. Like, it's too fun. Like, it's fun. Like, I can show, but I don't want to turn my page. Oh, there you go, down there. And definitely got to learn how to do my camera better. That's frustrating me. Okay, so we got some yellow. We'll get some brighter yellow in here. And I want some pure white in there too. I'll stick that right on top of the yellows because it's too punchy. My folks live out in the country, and they have 18 acres, and there's a creek and all this beautiful stuff. And when the weather switches over, I actually want to get out there and do some plein air type of painting, and I'm not set up for that. So I've been watching all the videos on what gear to get for getting outside, and I do want to do that, and I'm going to try to catch some of that on here, and mostly just because I really want a record of my growth. You're not good until you, what do they say, 10,000 hours of something. Like, you gotta go for it like that. Okay, I need some green in there. What color do we want to do? That's a purple, but do we really want purple? Sometimes purple doesn't paint out the way I like it to, so let's make it real. Yeah, see, that's a little bit too chalky, I guess is the word. Do I have any places that blue fits in here? That is not the look I want on those, so we'll get away from there. A little shadow here, shadow under here. Shadow at the base of the steps here. Shadow in here. Using that purple to use. There we go. There's a little dark shadow there. You guys can't even see. I'm not doing very good here. But thank you for watching. Thank you for your patience while I figure my junk out. And I hope you'll come along for the journey. I plan on being kind of faithful and maybe a little all over. I'm not really ADD because I finish things. I like to think of myself as, not like genius level or anything. I'm not that. I don't claim to be that. But there's this thing called being a polymath, which is when you learn multiple skills and they crisscross back and forth. So like if I learn about the garden, which I already know, then if I write about a plant in my book because I know about it, then that's the information from one hobby crossing into another. And I kind of love it when it all happens like that, when you get to cross-pollinate. Garden pun intended. Did anybody catch that? I entertained myself. And I'm not good at seeing my comments. You guys have to forgive me. I'll get there. I'll get there. I'm going to have to up my game a little bit, I think. And and then like even learning how the technology works on YouTube helps me do technology for in my marketing for the book stuff that I have to do. And I don't really want to upsell people on here, and I don't even really want to ask for subscribers and all of that, because I just want people to come out and play with me only if they want to. Do you guys want to? Do you want to come out and play with me? We're adding some structure inside of here. What do I got to see here? We want to this green. We will get some veins going on in there. Man, that's so. Let's see here if I can move. Does that help a little bit? Did that help? I moved my light over. I feel like that helped. Maybe you guys can give me some thumbs up if that helped, because I can't quite read the comments because you're over behind my shoulder. We haven't really thought our system through yet here. But, okay, let's get this in here. A little bit less yellow intense. We'll go quieter on that. And we want to get, my tea is destined. My tea is really close to getting doused with my paint. I've done it almost like 3 times already. Well, I will say the gouache dries a little bit faster. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Does everybody else already know that? It dried up on my palette like really fast, which is probably what it's doing in here too, huh? Orchids are like ivy. They attach themselves to other plants. So if you have orchids, you want to put them, you want to not have them sit in water, because they're supposed to, like the kind of flowers that live in the crack of a plant, like in the branch, in the, what do they call them? The armpits is what we used to call them. The armpit of the plant is when, all right, I don't like this being all the way over here. I kind of want a pot to show up, but we didn't do that very good. I wonder if I can, this one really scrubs out pretty good. So this paper is forgiving, and I don't think I've broken through this paper. With mixed media, I can kind of break through paper sometimes, and I'm gonna mix my blue gouache with the rest of that purple. Yeah, I see what they mean when they say that the gouache mixed with white can be chalky. Like, it's almost better if you get the straight up gouache without putting your white in there. I think that's interesting. Learning, people. Can you feel my brain expanding and my experience expanding? I hope yours is too. Alive to living over here. I'm so thankful for this day. I'm so thankful that I have my health. I had some precarious long seasons there. Not everybody can say that. I'm grateful for that. But we had family over. We were watching old family videos, and my kids are old enough that I can literally have family videos that are like well over 25 years ago. Wah, wah, old. Which I don't mind being old. I love my life, and this being able to stop in the middle of a work day when I'm supposed to be doing something else and play here is actually kind of beautiful. So that's why I'm counting my blessings, because the wonder of it is inspiring. I'm trying to build up my delight of art so that I can get back in the chair as a novelist and do this really long editing pages. It's like crazy editing. Okay, so I think I might hit some of this with a more bold, I have highlighters over here, and I have these acrylic, you guys probably can't even see them. This is my acrylic pens here, the big fat chunky ones. And I have these little bad boys are really fun. They're highlighters, and I see people layering, and got some color pencil in there, and we got some of these bad boys too. Color pastels. You guys have all kinds of stuff. Use your art supplies. Use your art supplies. Have fun with that. Okay, so I'm actually going to go into that next phase. This is a little squirrely in here, though. We kind of want to get some squirrelies going on. We want to get, the all those air roots that they do. Kind of get some of that going in there. And we definitely need some green. Green with a little yellow mixed in there. So let's get some of that down in here, like leaves. Oh, that was over the top. Gouache on gouache. Does it work? I don't know. I've never done it. That looks all right to me. There's supposed to be another flower up in here, but do I really want to go back in there and cut it in, or do I just want to let my architecture, the finished work of the windowsill that it was in, come in around? I think that's what I'm going to do. All right. Can you guys actually even see this? So I did a schedule, and then it makes me lock in on up and down and vertical instead of horizontal, and I don't want to do that. And I thought I had changed it, but we'll have to learn the hard way. Pay my dues. Okay. That's roughly cut in there, but not done. We're definitely not done. Ooh, I want to get some more green. Let's get some green watercolors. Mix them out a little bit. Get this. Yeah, pop my little flowers up a little bit. All right, we're gonna let that dry so I don't kill my pen. I usually use one of these because I have the patience of a gnat, so I like to blow dry them, but I'm assuming that would be completely obnoxious for you guys. That's why I did two paintings at once, so I could leave one to dry and still be working. So I'm actually gonna use my fat black micron. I'm looking forward to using the Uniball ones. We're gonna slide the gouache out of the way so I don't kill it. Oh, I want to draw my pot in here. I don't have a pot here yet, so oh, this pen is kind of not very happy. So we might be doing exactly what we said and use it up, right? So we're gonna get my handrail in here. Is that popping for you guys? I bet you can see it better with a little bit more definition. Get these stairs cut in. I probably am going to have total perspective issues because, you know, getting your perspective right means you have to take the time to actually measure things. Who wants to do that? Not this girl. All right. So let's see. We want to go out, down, out. We want to go down, out. Oh, listen to me. That has got to be the mark of the season of life, to talking to yourself. Do I have any fellow talk to yourselfers? Yes. Okay. We're getting there. Does that helped a little bit, didn't it? Made things pop just a little bit. Okay. Helped. It did. Can you see that? Do I have good perspective? Probably not. Still a little cartoony, but I'm okay with that. I don't even know how to do that one. Okay. We need to get some of these lines to pop back up out of the paint. We decided we were going to do a big terracotta on this instead of the brick wall feeling. Let's get this. See, we're faking it all right. You guys see me? Birch. Get our straight lines squared away. Oh, coloring. Oh my gosh, you guys are so nice. You're commenting and I don't even know how to. There's got to be a button on here where I can actually see my comments. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Please forgive me. I don't even know if I'm gonna. I only did one other one and it was a little less of a train wreck, but I could read my comments last time, and so I must have been sitting where, oh, I'll do that. That's what I'm gonna do. I know. Watch me, guys, watch me. I'm gonna move my inspiration picture over here. And that way you guys can see a little bit better too. Now it's gonna be a little chunky to figure out my water and all of that stuff. But okay, so somebody leave me a little comment just for my practice. Please, that was not very nice of me to boss you around like that. But if somebody will leave a comment, then I can see if I can do both at the same time now. Oh, that would work better. Lesson learned, I think. Okay, so let's get these done here. I keep looking up right when the comments are faded out, which is not really, okay, we want to make some leaves happen in here. And these are going to be rosies, so we'll get some. Oh, it looks good. Yay, I saw your comment. Oh my gosh. Will you guys celebrate with me? So, I'm a farmer girl. I have a rabbit and I have chickens and I have a big old beautiful garden. I live in Oregon, so it's like rainforest gorgeous. So if you guys want, I have multiple type of topics. I'm an art journaler, which looks different to me. This is actually a book. In fact, this is super inspiring. If you guys want to screenshot this name, this one for art journaling is like really great. It so inspired me to get in there. It has all of these great, this lady needs to be complimented, like the actual art journaling where your journal is and you're, you know, documenting your life and you're making your art fit into the cracks. Oh gosh. Yeah. So that will be part of my thing. So we're going to get some wiggles on these little guys. Let's get some depth in here. Gotta have more dark. Would somebody help me? What is it? How did I become a writer? Well, I started, and it is a big job, but basically I started out as a reader. There's different kinds of people. Some people like go to school in high school and grade school and they know they're a writer from the beginning. That was not me. I didn't even read books. In fact, I was the queen of like cheating on book reports back in the day, like well before there was Google and all of that, like when there was no internet and you actually had to be good at cheating. But I'm not a cheater person. I just was an outdoor person and I was a sports person. So we'd always run out of time to get the things done. And so when I have 5 grown kids. That's why I have a pile of grandbabies. I actually have 3 grandbabies. One is 3, one is 1, and she just started walking this last week. And the other one is 3 months old. But a couple of days ago, we found out that 2 of my daughter and my daughter-in-law are going to have babies too. And I'm just so excited about all of that. But the writing, when I had my own little kids, I had a little bit of the, you know, cabin fever. You know, I don't know if that's nice to admit, but maybe some other people wouldn't want to admit that. Ooh, I want to see if this, let's get this bad boy out. I think it's going to be the wrong color, but I want to see if this is fun on these little terracotta pots. Ooh, that's bold. And this is my least favorite color, but it's kind of a great. I need a brown, not this is like the color of poopy. But do you see how it helped? It did kind of help a little bit. I started reading but it was before the internet. So I read, my little small town library didn't have very many of the kind of books that I write because I write what I loved to read. And so I started daydreaming about writing a book like the people that I was reading and loving. So that's how I did it. And I started back in 2000 and was just really playing around. I wasn't really doing anything serious. And then in 2013, I got really into it, and I didn't get my writer contract until 2019. and now I'm on my second contract. So I have 4 books out. If you're interested in historical Christian romance, so it's the Oregon Trail, but it's on the this end of the Oregon Trail, like the Oregon end of the Oregon Trail, and after they're already here. So I get bored by all the people that die on the Oregon Trail. It's no fun. But so the settlers, scroungy back woodsmen, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I do. And do you guys see how much fun the vivid acrylic colors bring in? Do you see how much fun I'm having? That was fun. Do you guys see it? Can you see the change up with the, oh, hold on. I'm going to knock my water. I've got to get a little bit more organized here. But those colors are starting to pop up off the page a little bit, huh? Still looks a little more cartoony than I want. So we got to work on that. There's a word, what do they call it when they, with artists, when they're talking about like, it's the contrast, maybe that's the word I'm looking for, contrast, like where the light and the dark of the painting sit side by side, like the lightest and the brightest and the darkest sit right next to each other. And so that's kind of what I've been working on, even though I cannot remember even what it's called. Sorry if you guys are commenting and I'm missing it. I'm still struggling a little bit. Oh, that wasn't the one I wanted. I wanted to get the red in there, but these are making me happy because they make those flowers. The whole point is spring. I got a little bit of the winter blues going on over here just because it's Oregon. We do the most amazing, we can grow the most amazing stuff because it's extremely rainy and wet, and it's been wet and gloomy for quite some time now, and we're ready for change. Okay, so let's see. I got this brown, sort of a brown taupey colored marker, and I want to see if it shows up on my terracotta pots over here. So so far we have watercolor, acrylic marker, ink pen, gouache, and I'm not sure what else. Ooh, see how cool that is? That's giving me some texture. This is going to give me some shadows. This will give me a little bit of oomphta. We likey. Yeah, this is my color in here too. This is, ooh, look at that depth pop out. Did anybody see that? That looks good. I like it. Yay. You guys are troopers. I'm so impressed that you guys are sticking with my Hot Mess Express. So yeah. So yeah, my name on here is my author name. So if that happened to please anybody, I don't really want to use this as another marketing platform because girl has to do all that work in other places. I really just want to play. You guys know what I mean? Play. So if you want to come out and bring your toys and play in my sandbox, we could get along. And I want to leave myself and people that hang out with me inspired. Like life has enough complicated things to throw at us. This will not be one of those serious places where too much opinion is flung around. I don't have time for, there's too much goodness in this life. I don't want to focus on that. I want to play with I'm actually getting close to being content. I want to, let's see, let's go one step darker. We're going to pop, so this is my black, and this thing is hard to control. It's going to go crazy, but it's hard to control because it's fat old. We're going to pop one more layer of dark in there, and let's see. What do you think? Is that too dark? Did I get it to pop in there a little bit more? Do I want to do this little line here? I do. It's supposed to be straight. This is supposed to be a gateway back here, and that's part of the fun of this composition because it's supposed to be this dark tunnel that goes back. So Well, how about that? We popped the tunnel a little bit. Do you see the tunnel? It kind of popped out. Does it look a little more 3D? Did I get it to pop out a little bit more? I'm happier with that. I think I'm gonna get this red, these little flowers right here, they have a little tone of red on the very open tip of them. So we're gonna try to hit that with this too. And I don't even know if I'm gonna use my pastels in there yet. Okay. Yeah, that was fun. So look at this little tiny detail. I'm not sure how much detail shows up on the camera here, which we want this over here. See those little red dots on there? I think they look pretty. And I did some up here too, just to add some dimension. I should probably go in with the green one and make a little bit more leaves. Might come back in and do that just a little bit here and there. Get some, I feel like that might need some pen. Ooh, I did that. It's the wrong color green, but I like the texture. So see the little spikies on that plant? That leaf changed the leaf patterns a little bit. Starting to pop. Okay. And now I'm actually gonna I'm gonna quit working it. I'm the queen of overdoing, and it'll look really good, and then I'll just do that one or two little things that makes it go too far. And I told you again, I'm not sure yet if I'm abstract or not. Like, I just don't know. I know I don't like it when it looks cartoony. Like, that's not my my thing. But I definitely need to keep going in order to figure out what taste I am. Like, I'm so forgot to look at you guys a million times. Maybe I should just stick with pre-made videos, huh? I kind of like hanging out with people, though. It's fun. Not sure if that was an improvement or not, but okay. Put the big bad boys away. Not sure yet what I want to add on that one, but we'll work on this one a little bit more. This one has all these really neat pink veins, and I'm just not sure I can actually do that with paint. This is probably gonna wreck this pin, but what did I say? Use your supplies. Let's, this is what I'm using. Fudano Suko. I love the tips on these things. They're great for writing. Sometimes I do write inside of my my art. You know, I find it very peaceful to do that. So writing is probably in there on all the ways I can do it, right? So we're gonna do some polka dots in here. Oh man, orchids are just like the most tropically glorious. I don't even know if you guys can see my details. My details are starting to come in, and I think it's fun. All right, I got to go this way so you guys can talk to me. I'm so bad. I fail. So you guys are being so gracious. I fail totally at this. All right. I want to get these veins up here and all of it a little bit outline. What do we got here? We got some kind of center to here. ruffles. Oops, I got paint on my marker. Definitely need to get that off or we'll ruin it. My nephew has got state playoffs and I'm only slightly looking forward to the extra gym time, but I want to go support him. All right, so these ones have really faint colors. I wonder if the yellow one would work. This one back here. I should probably have more flower, the pink of the second flower over here too, but I didn't draw it in there, so. That changed it a little bit. I'm not really excited about that change, but I think I need to get some, what do I want? This is got so many veins on it though. It does give it a lot of texture. Yeah. So let's use this little yellow here. Let's make these little center here. And you can actually get the yellow to be like the highlight, just like the white's the highlight. Take out some of that. All right. I think I'm gonna hit this with marker pretty soon, like a black fine liner. I definitely didn't do it first. This is concrete out the window with the windowsill. I don't know if you can see it. I actually took this picture of my own flower, which that's kind of art too, right? Photography, does it count? Do we get to call that an artistic thing? I'm gonna, and let's see. These have, I don't really know what to put in for my vase. Let's just do that there. Make it more rounded down there. Okay, that's not super great, but yeah, I'm not sure, not quite sure what to add on this one. I think I just want to do more of the actual pen where you get little leaves going in. This is like a wisteria where it's like hanging down. Ivy like, and these are yep. You guys are persevering amazingly. Okay. So we got a little work on that plant right there. I'm pretty happy with that. Can you guys see it? All right, so now let's get some, let me get some circly ones down here, and then get our vine to stand out from the crowd a little bit, because it's kind of the beauty place, isn't it? I'm making some of my flowers look like roses where they're circled out, and then some of them look like they're hanging like a wisteria, right? But shh, we're mixing our flowers, but nobody will care. All right. What do those shape like?
Oh, those have white in them too, but I'm not sure I want to go back in there with the... Huh, yeah, I could get these little guys. Try to do a different texture over here, so... Should probably have a green pen. Ooh, this is a little watercolor in here. Let's get some of these going. Texture it up. This was one of my mom's watercolors too. And that gives me a little rougher. Oh, I did, look I messed up. I accidentally, when I was putting the lid on, I made a squiggle right there. Not sure I'm gonna worry about it too much. This one needs... I'm gonna add some greenery along this back side of the stairwell. All right, so I got that watercolor, so now let's hit it and loosen it up a little bit. See, ooh, it's fun. Look at that. Mess it around a little bit, bring it over here. I did it over here too. Can you see that? Mixing it up a little bit. Probably could do that some more. That was fun. Push that out a little bit. Oh, I'm not even on there. How silly. There we go. I washed it out in the trumpets down here and then over here. Kind of made the stairs pop out a little bit more. So, yes. So what are we going to do here? Slide this all back and get myself up here. All right. This is not popped out enough for me. I definitely want to get some, I think this one's good enough. I'm not sure I'm going to make that any better. So that's probably my finished one on that. And I'm looking at the camera, so if you want to text something, I'll watch for a second. Because I'm stinking at that part. But that's that. And this is, like I said, I have a view. This is a poster I have in my framed on a wall. It's not even high quality, but it's so detailed. It just makes me happy because it makes my eyes look in all of the good places. So I kind of want to keep doing this one. Like, this to me still looks a little flat, a little 2D, a little cartoony. I don't know exactly. So I need to maybe try it with the abstract deep colors in mind instead of like, but this is like fun for the art journaling. Thanks. And now we're gonna see if we can make this one pop a little bit. So see how this is like, people could be happy with that, but it's got a lot more detail up close that you guys can't see very good. But I'm gonna go for it. So I might mess this one up. So you guys wanna go with me on that? Thank you for the little comments. I actually saw them. All right. What am I going to use? So I think I might actually use these bad boys. Let's use some of these and let's use some of this right here. So these are color pencils and they're dinky tiny, but I like how they fit in there. But I also have watercolor sticks and whatever. What do I have? Watercolor sticks. That would be a slang for watercolor pencils. Watercolor sticks. Yes. All right. Okay, so what are we gonna find? Let's see what this yellow highlighter looks like on top of my yellow flower. Does it give me a layer of texture? Oh, yes, it does. Okay, and I still feel like it's too yellow. Like these are like more translucent-y pink. I don't know exactly how to say that. And I don't even know if you guys can see it. Like there's like, it's like light. I mean, can you ever actually paint or draw the likeness of a real flower? Hello, isn't that like the most amazing art out there? Is just simple creation. That's why I like that phrase I was quoting where it says gratitude is happiness doubled by wonder. Oh my gosh, that's what flowers do to me. Like, what they just are so full of their own intrinsic glory that it's like, I just want to keep talking about it because it's amazing. Okay, so this one helps a little bit. This gives me a little bit of a we can come in here and get these. It's a little orangier than I want, but it gives me some pop. Okay, so we're gonna go with this with the shadows. Let's see if we can just pull a little shadow underneath these. Right here. I'm not sure I liked that. That might not. That I said I run the risk of ruination. You heard me say it, right? Go with me. Let's see how we do. Just trying to get the shadow underneath the flower for, for depth. Let's get some depth in here. Yeah, let's do that. Greens. Can you guys see where I'm working? Shove that over a little bit. And okay, so let's take this. It's like oh no, this is a better brown. So I'm gonna do the grains of wood with a highlighter. So I don't even know, I'm never gonna be the one that tells you guys the brand, but this is the brand. And I am a monkey see, monkey do. So I learn really hard with my book writing stuff on how to do things. And so with everything else, I don't make myself learn through like books and learning, like hard structured learning, because I already do that. So I let myself play and learn from videos and do all the little crazy, just let people tell you how they're doing it, because it's way more fun. And I do that with writing too, but in the writing, I sort of have to get my chops up there. So I was watching these videos of older people. Like when I say older, I mean truly vintage, like antiques. You're in the eBay world when they sell stuff, you're vintage if you're over 20 years old, and you're antique if you're 100 years old. So these people were like within either antique or they were just real close to it. And they they were alive, and they had to stay motivated and excited about every day and the repetition of it all. And I find that to be an inspiring thing to think about, is that we got more time to go. You have time. This whole world, everything goes so fast, but it's almost important to slow down and be like, yeah, we actually have time. So let's not lose sight of the fact that to learn a skill or to enjoy a skill is okay, because the work, we're infinite beings. We're not infinite, we're finite, but work is infinite. So like, it's gonna constantly be there. Ooh, I liked that. I'm gonna get my happy finger out here, and I think what I like here is the contrast. See how that popped right there? It made I'm not happy with it yet, like the look of it. I gotta smooth it in there. I don't really know how to work with these guys yet. I think I kind of want to can we scratch in it? Yeah, let's do that. That almost adds like a wood grain, and gives me that highlighted darkness. So I think I love the way this actually feels on my fingers. I'm definitely the garden girl who likes, now I look like I have garden fingers, but they're paint fingers. Hello, paint fingers, yes please. Okay. All right, so I'm not happy with my gray over here. Like, I don't know what to do with this paper, because it's like, I guess they say it's layers, like you're supposed to just have more layers. So let's do a watercolor pencil, and I'm gonna just get it wet, and let's see what happens here. Ooh, we might have to get the blue and the black together to give me some body in here. Dunking it in water. Do you guys dunk your watercolor pencils? I think it works better when they're wet than if you, definitely got me some contrast going on there. I need to get a sharpener by me here, because that's hard to do that when you're on camera. Yes, I'm going the wrong direction. I'm definitely, when I was a kid, I used to try so hard to like do the coloring contests from school, you know how, or like at your grocery store or dentist. Is anybody old enough to remember that they used to do those everywhere? Like they'd have big contests, they'd send them out in the newspaper or whatever and give people a chance to have their kids' artwork posted, you know, as a thing. And I could never stay inside the lines. I was totally serious about it, and it was one of those things where for a long time, it was one of those areas that make me feel like, why would I even try to be an artist if you can't navigate that? Like, can't even stay inside the lines. But basically, I've invented all kinds of ways to live my life outside the lines. Ha ha ha. All right, let's get this one over here. This is actually making me happier. There's a little bit more definition. We get to underscore these silver bits. And this is a pot down here, which I don't think you can quite tell. Let's get some green. Green, getting it wet. Don't like my leaf style. I don't want to make it too canned, but I don't really, the leaves of these guys are kind of down low. You don't really see them super much, so we're just going to keep that down in there. All right, so so that's got to dry a little bit, but I kind of think I need to get an actual black marker. But before we do that, let's do a black watercolor amongst my blue. This wall is kind of a gray color, but who wants to do gray? So let's, I'm roughing up the surface finally of this textured paper. It's not happy with me at the minute. So let's get this black up here next to the brown depth. And we'll do it up here, and then I'll get my paintbrush out and kind of smudge it. I'm gonna use a big one. Let's see if this works. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. This paper just drinks up all that water and doesn't give me any smush around. And it does lift it back off a little bit, which is not really what I was after, but well, I might just have to be happy with that. Interesting. Definitely don't mind I do like that I got some darker, I like the contrast, which the contrast is one of my favorite things these days. And so in fact, I should probably look and see where the pops of white are. So that was not really a good move there. That's kind of lost sight of my flower here. Okay. Well, we only used one of those. I'm okay with that. I like these, but the one thing I don't like is that when you do them in the art journal, you sort of have to put a paper in there to protect it from the other side. And I don't always like that. Sometimes it bothers me that we have to be that way. Do I have one of these smaller ones that's black? Yes, I do. Let's go in with this bad boy. So this will either bring it up or take it down. Let's see how she does. We have to get little tiny... this little tiny work on the edges of these little... Oops, we need to pump it. You guys are so cool that you're hanging out with me so long, because I wonder if I can smooth that out. That's too shocking there, but I like the contrast. We needed a little more fine detail in there, that's for sure. It's not, black is not quite the right touch here, but I'm committed now, so we have to go for it. there through stippling a little bit. Oh, I do like that edge cleaned up a little bit. That was nice. That was nice. We'll take that. We'll take that. That made it worth it to me, even though we're... All right. I might not try any harder. I think if I go for more, might break it. All right. Should I add a little? Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I do have one more thing. I don't think this white one has any in it. Nope, that's actually it. I should have used that one. That one's black. But look, when I threw away my other one that had the black actual lid to it. So I thought this was white the whole time. I think I've done that before. All right. So all I have is this big bad boy. This one's a little bit smaller than this, but they're no bueno for control. But let's see if we can get just a little, is there even any, oh, there we go. Let's get just a tiny bit of a pop on this. Let's do that. Okay, I'm supposed to be talking to you, but apparently I can't do this and talk at the same time. All right, maybe there's a little bit of white in here. This one has, ooh, that actually, I like that. I washed out the top of that a little bit, which is nice. Let's do this too. Yeah, let's take this line out. I'm basically using it to thin out my heavy black lines too, so that was nice. All right, what do you think? Did that help it? It gave it some pop. Eesh. I think I'm about done, people, so I guess I'm looking at the camera if you want to tell me. Oh, I could add something in here, but I feel like that's happy in the background. All right, so here's my before picture. Yes, okay, so here's the before. So I'm hoping you guys will come find me. I have done this thing for years, but I have nobody following me. When I do my little videos, I literally get like 3 people, and it's okay with me. I'm going to do the slow grow, but yeah. Did that make you want to use your art supplies? Did you people want to get out there and do your... Hopefully you're getting something done. Love watching you finish the picture. Yay. So the other live video, it's the other direction, and it's just as much of a train wreck as this one. But I actually did 8 paintings at one time because I don't use my blow dryer, but I realized that was too many. So it's like 2 hours long. So this one's only an hour and a half long. 90 minutes. Oh my gosh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, you were coloring along with me. That just makes me, thank you for that. You guys, that just enlivens me. So I'm going to get off, and this will post, so you'll be able to see it later if you want. But so my personal goals is to fill up journals hip high. My mom, when my mom passed away, her grandkids belovedly honored her by tattooing some of her artwork on their hip. And thank you. And but she had bigger pieces of art, like it was more like stuff you could not get into tattoo. So my goal is to fill up so many art journals that if my grandkids want to memorialize me with a tattoo, they have choices. So my serious goal, like I'm not trying to make a YouTube success. My serious goal is to get better and to put in my time and to drag a few folks along and to do the other things that I do also, which is obviously you've heard me yammer on about all the layers. So, and now I have to go over there and get into my desk and actually do editing, because this was just to fuel me up to go get over there and do the responsible things. So thank you for championing me today. You guys were so good to me. Thank you. Yay. Yes, that's right. Okay. Now you guys go use your art supplies. And if I'm on Instagram, so if you do something, you could tag me. That would be so fun. Have a good day. Bye. I don't even know how to stop it. So, oh, let's see.